Following the devastation of Hurricane Katrina in 2005, our next guest authored an extensive report on the federal government's response. Fran Townsend was President George W. Bush's Homeland Security Advisor and is now CBS News Senior National Security Analyst. Fran, good morning.
Good morning, Anthony.
What principally did you learn from looking at that?
You know, look, what you understand is the federal government is not equipped to be the first responder. It's never going to be, right? The first responder is the person in your local community.
Yes.
The problem in a devastating natural disaster is those people are also victims. And so they're not really in a position, they may be the most competent first responders that you've got, but they're not in a position. They've got their families and their homes to worry about.
As we're seeing, there's no bus drivers, there's no police, because they're all at home trying to take care of their families.
Exactly right. And so what we found in Katrina was the quicker you surge forces that can actually act and put in place expeditionary logistics, the quicker you're going to see a recovery. What does that mean? The people who are the best in the world at this are the U.S. military. Right now, there are 7,200 troops there. They need thousands more. They're going to, you know, they've got the Army Corps of Engineers. That's right. That will help in terms of getting electricity, both transmission and distribution. But they need a lot more help right now until they can get on their feet.
Fran, we heard praise for the administration after Harvey and Irma and the way they handled things. But now we're hearing two very different stories from Puerto Rico and then from the administration. Why is there this disconnect? What changed?
Sure. First of all, you know, you learn kind of the hard way. And Tom Bossert, who's in my old position, the Homeland Security Advisor, helped me author the Lessons Learned report. So he gets this. Oftentimes, the information you're getting from the site of a natural disaster, the first reports are wrong, A. And B, the people on the ground have the best information. So the mayor and the governor know the best what their own constituents are dealing with. And you have to defer to them. You have to listen to them and respond to their needs. The best example of this is the Jones Act, right? The short explanation of that is foreign flag ships typically are not permitted to deliver these products unless U.S. carriers can't do it. And the administration's view was they got all the commodities into Puerto Rico. They didn't need to waive the Jones Act. Governor calls and says, look, you do. And they did it right away. And that's a good example of you've got to listen to the people on the ground.
You mentioned getting goods in, and we've seen there've been you know, lots of stuff stacked up at ports, but not able to get it out anywhere. So where was the failure there, do you think, in terms of, we know that there's a shortage of drivers, but, I mean, could that not have been anticipated?
Well, you know, it's the right question, Anthony, and I don't think we have a good answer yet. I do think they had a 3-star general at Northern Command here in the United States who was overseeing the response and a 1-star general on the ground sort of executing against the plan. I think what they've seen now, the 3-star general is on his way, if he's not already arrived in Puerto Rico, to evaluate the response and what the requirements are. I'd be surprised if he didn't say, I need more troops in order to manage this distribution until Puerto Rico itself can get back on its feet.
Why did it take so long to get that 3-star general in place? What you mentioned before was the idea that the Army knows how to deal with this and they should be the ones.
Well, to be fair, my understanding from the White House is that 3-star general has been in place literally from the beginning, but he was managing sort of his role from the mainland U.S.
Right.
And I think that the sort of adjustment has been they're going to send him down there to understand better on the ground what the requirements are.
As you were saying, you need to be there. All right, Fran Townsend, thank you. Some great perspective.